Welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ.
My computer was locked on that stupid.
Oh my God!
He talks.
It was locked up on that stupid countdown. Was y'all's doing it too?
Oh.
No.
Yes.
No.
My screen was locked on within like my screen went like 6, 5, and just hung at 5 seconds.
Nope,
Yeah.
not really.
So anyway, that's pretty funny that it would do that to me, of all people, since I run such a tight ship. So
Right.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. For some reason this afternoon, when I did the tried to create the show on YouTube to do the post or whatever you want to call it, card, so you could see when the show was going to be, and all you had to do is click. It wouldn't work. YouTube informed me that I had to update all my information and verify who I was. And they also they sent a text to my phone. I had to give them a code number, all that BS. And then guess what? It told me it'll be 24 to 48 hours before we can verify this information. So I ended up having to start the show the way we used to, where it's just, boom, it's out there. So as of right now, I don't see a whole lot of people, which is going to take a few minutes for all them to. Would you like to use YouTube on demand? A pay-per-view? No, thanks. Kiss to where the sun don't shine. So, but yeah. But we are running over on YouTube and we're live. Fortunately, I don't. James Parker's out there, so
I knew James would be there.
Yep, James Parker's out there. Patrick's workshop. So yes. So, and I am live over on Facebook too,
and Twitch is live too.
And Twitch is live. Yes. And who was the winner from last week? Do you remember, Al?
M-Chav.
Yes. So I tried to contact her. It's kind of funny. I tried to contact her. She sent me her email with her information. So, and I went on to PayPal and found it, but I did a screenshot and sent it back to her verifying this is you, right? Before I ain't sending money to somebody, So, and she never responded. And I'm like, well, damn, she don't want this money very bad. So, I think it was finally I posted on there, and you, Al, said she's on Twitch right now.
In fact,
so I went over there and I typed in. I said, "Hey, this is Russ." She goes, "Oh, Russ from Safety wasn't crazy yet." I said, "Well, I'm trying to give you money, but you damn sure don't want it because I can't find. You won't respond." She goes, "Oh, I only check. Something was like I only check my email like 2 or 3 times a week, so I haven't checked it yet." So anyway. She has a donate button on Twitch that I clicked, and I gave her winnings of last week's the prize, which was $25. So that was pretty cool. So, and I am interested in doing that again. I think we had a lot of fun. I think it was a lot of good for all the people that were out there watching and in the chat all the time. So we're definitely going to try. And if y'all would, obviously I can't do it, be so kind to remind me. Well, I want to do that like once a month, I think, especially since, I got, what was it, like $15 or $20 donations to go in. So the next one will be up to like $40, I believe it is. So for the winnings. So, yeah, let's try to do that once a month. And I think it was pretty cool. Everybody send your pictures in. We get to see your projects. And, since I am on that part, one of the persons that sent me the pictures, somehow I missed or it didn't come onto what are y'all laughing at?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
Oh, come on now. Damn it. I've got too much going on to go through this bullshit. So I believe you. Okay. God, let me go back and find this post. Eloy will get to you, I swear, buddy.
Eloy, this always goes on, man.
Take your time, dude. I'm here just kicking back. Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. He's always He's always been very calm.
That means he's going to kick everybody off the show.
Do you ever get mad? Because I've watched some of your shows, your podcast with you and crap, I can't think of his name.
Mark Lindsay.
Yeah, Mark Lindsay. I watched some of y'all. You were so laid back. So is Mark. Mark's kind of a laid back guy. Y'all never get like angry or anything.
No, it's got to be a specific. It would have to be a specific topic. There's certain,
like if I talked about your mother, it might really make you mad.
That would really put me on edge. And depending on the people and the what you call the how they comport themselves, if they're mature about it. Politics is like bad.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. Things like that. But
yeah. All right. So anyway, he sent the pictures. If you remember last week, of the cabinet with the doors, and we were all trying to figure out, okay, that was there's a beautiful cabinet or whatever. Somehow either I missed it or if the upload didn't come up for the last picture. And he sent me an email saying, if you'd have clicked on the last picture, no, I won't say what he said. You would have been able to figure out what that cabinet was for. So therefore, let me show everyone what his cabinet was actually supposed to be for.
Who was this?
I'm fixing to tell you.
Okay.
Just hang on for the ride, okay?
Just do what you got to do.
Oh.
Now you remember the cabinet?
Yep.
Yeah, it was for his parakeet cage.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yep. To keep all the stuff in the bottom of the parakeet cage. So you remember the cabinet we looked at? We were going, oh, that's a nice cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a lower toolbox. A really nice one.
Yes, but it's actually for his parakeet cage.
Perfect sense. Nice job, though.
Yep. It's a beautiful cabinet, no doubt. So let me go back and look at his name is crap, I lost it. I got a dead burn moth running around in my shop and he's driving me crazy.
You guys are looking at parakeet cages and I'm feeling like a canary in a coal mine. I don't know what's about to happen.
His name is Guy Madsen. M-A-D-S-N, Guy Madsen. And then, like I said, so Guy, sorry I didn't get to the last picture. I just wanted to put that out there. So, yeah, I didn't get to the last picture for you, buddy, but I now have corrected my error and that burn moth, get the heck out of here. Have corrected my error and therefore I have done that. So next thing I want to do real quick before we get to introducing and get to Eloy, he's sitting over there going like, damn, am I ever going to get on? So the next thing we're going to do is I have a little bit of information. I am a grandparent again for what is it, the 13th time, I believe it is. Yeah.
Congrats, Russ.
13th time. Yep. My son Corey and his wife Cheyenne Had a beautiful little girl like at 4:50, 4:58 for this afternoon. I won the bet. Everybody was placing bets on the date and the time. I said Saturday between 2 and 5. And guess what? She was born before 5 o'clock. So, and I hit it right on Saturday. So her parents, they live in Texas. They have flown in. I picked them up at the airport Friday night. And so they've flown in. So they're actually here too also. So that was great because they were worried that they were flying in and going to be here when the baby was born. And guess what? Came in on Friday night. The baby's born on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon. So that was perfect. So a little girl. I haven't got the stats on the weight and the height and everything, but we do have some pictures they sent us. So it's really, and the thing with the COVID, they're on lockdown. Nobody can go see the baby or the mother or whatever. Only the father's allowed in to be in the delivery room and everything. So we'll have to wait till they go home to be able to go over and see her. So congratulations, Cheyenne and Corey. I love you bunches. Let me talk about my sponsors real quick before we get started. There are Devobal Technologies for web design and development hosting. Visit devobal.com. FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking. Create with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Bearwood Supply Company, their best host or your best choice for finding hardware woodworking supplies. I'll get it all right. Bearwoods.com. Clean Spore, the sanding specialist. Woodworkingshop.com. Seiko, the scroll saw specialist, Seiko.com. And I am not going to say Scrollnado anymore because I have been informed that they're no longer on Amazon. I have tried to contact him. He's a real good guy. And he hasn't responded back to me, so I don't know what's going on. So, but yeah. And the next thing is, if you want to know anything about my live shows or videos, hit the little bell. That's all you need to do. And it will inform you as to when I have a live show or I post a video. Second thing is to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. The third thing is give me a dad burn thumbs up, by God. If you're out there in the chat, there's no excuse for you not to reach over and kick that little button or click that little button so that I get a thumbs up. So I'd appreciate your thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Brenda, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me about any place on the internet if you look for Brenda G's Designs. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube primarily. I do a live stream on Thursday nights with a fella named Matt Haas. Maybe some of you have heard of him, with awesome wood things and all things YouTube. He is my co-host there on the live stream Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we'd appreciate it if you join us. We got all kinds of shenanigans that we pull there on the show. We try to do a giveaway most every show. I do some comedy and some crafting on my channel. So there's all kinds of things to amuse you.
Paul
Corliss, Paul's Messy Workshop. You can find me on YouTube and on Instagram and on here. And I'm glad Eloy's on tonight. I've always enjoyed his videos and glad to see him on here.
Great. Chris.
Again, Chris here at the Old Cranky Workshop. Al, would you knock it off? You'll find me on YouTube and Facebook. And believe it or not, my video I've been promising is on here.
Ooh.
Just on here. But I got to put the credits in, then I can release it. So hopefully by Monday evening.
Cool. Jim.
Jim Bashir from Driveway Workshop. Looking forward to talking to Eloy tonight. I haven't really talked to him for ages. It's all been watching him
I know.
on his show. Yeah. And it's baby week here on the show because we've got a new grandkid too. So her daughter and her husband had the boy. So we're looking forward to seeing him on Tuesday.
Cool. That's 3 for you?
5 grandkids. I think that's probably going to be the last too. Yeah.
Oh,
that'll be my birthday present. My birthday's Tuesday, so we're going to go over there and see him.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. Dixon.
I'm Dixon Hoffman. You can find me at hoffmanscienceanddecals.com, and I do a lot of 3D printing.
Cool. Trying to figure out where the heck that mic is. Al.
Hello, I'm Al Forte. Kilroy79763 on Twitch. Hey, doesn't that look a lot better that I painted it black? The gold.
It does. Much
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Right? I'm also on Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop on YouTube, but you can certainly find me everywhere. Kilroy79763. And there's one of my half credits for 2020. I'll soon be making the 2021s. And I don't know, I'm trying to find, and if anybody knows, I'm trying to find some resin that's gold so I can make them on my Lego. I haven't been able to find any. Dixon, do you know by chance?
No, usually they have to buy the clear and then dye it with some color.
Mica powder?
Yeah.
You try it.
Yeah.
Why don't you take one of them gold bars you got and file some filings off and mix it in with the resin?
I was thinking of making them on the.
Quit being a cheapskate. Step up to the.
Just have them. I'll forge them out of gold. Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Anyway, this back here, I don't know if you can see it too well. I guess you can. I'm currently building the ship itself. This is the model. It's got lights, and I am green screen. I am building this. There's 120 of these kits. This is the first one. I've got the second one, which is just one of the engines, and I've got another 118 of them to come. But this has been a lot of fun. But anyway, videos coming up on that at some point in time. But anyway,
Cool.
Great to be here.
Great. Okay, so Mr. Eloy Escagedo. I think that's the and he was correcting me a little bit. That's not actually the best pronunciation, but I think it's pretty good because I want to tell you, I have butchered Michel Marcoux. I used to call him Michael something. I mean, so that's how far off I was. So yeah, I'm the world's best name butcherer.
I'm not saying a word.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Eloy, how you been, my friend?
Good. You didn't butcher a thing, dude. To be honest with you, it was like perfect.
Good. Thank you.
There's no.
I appreciate
It
that.
was like it just swam out of your mouth into the air, and it was just amazing. I personally, I'm enthralled with it, and let's just leave it at that.
Okay, yeah. Michel Marcoux is actually in the chat out there, and he knows how. Actually, I said his name for like I don't know 6 or 8 weeks, and I called him Michael something, and he never complained until one day somebody said, that's really not his name, and then I finally figured out how to pronounce his name.
There's a guy. There's a guy. I don't know if you guys know him, but you probably do. His name is Daniel. How do you? Which is actually
Is that how you say it?
That's after a long debate. That's how you say it. But I call him Daniel Harju. It just it rolls off the tongue, and he knows it's wrong, but he's totally, you know what I'm saying? He's totally okay with it. And I say it in a loving way, like you could, you know what I'm saying? So, how do you? I think is it's like it's like up there in the Viking area. That's where that name comes from. So
yeah, cool, very good. So, how have you been? Because I know I haven't talked to you in a while, and how you been doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm living life. I'm existing. Brain function. Everything is. We're hanging in there. A little bit of a rough turbulence, living this life, but in general, we're doing all right, and I'm happy to be here with you good people.
You survived the COVID. Obvious. How's your dog?
Let's not jinx things, because that stuff's still flying around. My doggy's fine. He's sitting there. listening in.
Yeah, because I've seen. I know you love that dog, and I've seen a lot of pictures of you with him and everything. So over the years, so
He's
I
my
know
little
you
buddy.
love him. So,
Yeah, he's my little
that's
buddy.
good. That's good. That's good that he's still around. So yeah. So we talked the other day whenever you were first saying to come on, and you have a YouTube channel, Rockin' Woodworks, yes. And you informed me, which I kind of knew that you hadn't been on it in a while or whatever. But you informed me it's been dead for what, 2 years now? You said,
Yeah, but let's not use. Damn, Russ, you're like using violent words like "dad" and this and that, dude.
Eloy, it's an every week thing with us.
I mean, no, it's
Okay.
not. It's. Can you use a more like a more like something a little, like with hope?
inactive. It's been inactive for about 2 years.
Dude, that's
that
too
better?
technical.
How about sabbatical?
See, there we go. Throw a little bit of a subtle religious stuff,
Okay, it's been sabbatical. You've been in deep, earnest meditation and prayer.
Not really, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, so what's going on? What did you just decide that you didn't want to do woodworking anymore? Or?
No, dude. What happened? So it's not. So
I mean, you don't have to get into your personal crap, but we're just kind of interested because I enjoyed watching your videos, and I used to watch them in all sincerity.
dude, I was going to give you everything. You told me now not to, so I'm going to keep it to myself. I was going to throw in even the kitchen, everything, the sink and everything. I was going to open book. I was going to spill my guts, man.
I want to know if there's any reptilian influence on that decision to stop working on wood.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I know we're sort of focused on but I'm not going to sit here and hide what my focal, and please don't judge me or judge me, but keep it to yourself. I ran across the most spectacular, and this is crazy. I know I don't believe it, but I enjoy these little conspiracy stuff. Mind you, I don't believe it.
I'm listening.
There's this one new theory, and it's called, you got to forgive me about this, the crater Earth. The crater Earth.
Yeah.
And what it is that they say in this video, yes, I know it's ridiculous, but just, that the Earth is actually sitting inside a crater in this huge ocean of like this huge vast, like terra firma type thing. And then there's other craters with other, and then they say the space shuttle goes up, and what they're really doing is going to, it's just crazy stuff, whatever. I've been looking at that. How about that?
Okay.
That's
Sorry.
a new one.
So, do you do any more woodworking as of this point?
Yes, of course. So I finished one rocking chair. Mind you, when I say rocking chair, in your minds, you might be thinking, my good, he's doing the shaving and the spoke, and no. I took a lady's rocking chair from across the way, and she had issues with it, so I did a refinishing job on it and took it to her. Now, today, I brought the next chair to do, because they're these old Nicaraguan chairs, and unfortunately, everybody around me knows me as the woodworker around here, so they all come to me. And you might say, why is that unfortunate? It's like, I don't want to do all these servicing, but I do little things like that. But video-wise, I have not been doing, because it's been, it's kind of a drag, man, to do a video that's like a lot of effort. And back when YouTube started to be sort of a little bit, do you guys remember when the views started to tank, generally speaking?
Yep.
And I had done this bee where I turned the abdomen of the bee and, all the parts, united them, and did some, what you call epoxy for the wings. And it's this whole bee. And it was a lot of work, and I videoed and I did angles. And once I did it up and got it ready and put it out, it freaking, I don't want to say it tanked, but it's like I did all this work, and then I saw that, and it kind of burst my bubble, let's say. So I've kind of, stepped back slightly from from doing videos. I know it's the wrong thing to do. You shouldn't hang your hopes on views and such and this and that. But I was like, well, what the heck, man? You know, this isn't, you know. And so I just stepped back a little bit in that respect. Is that like the worst? Is that like negative land or what, man? I just
no, I understand. You put in, it's up to each individual, whether it be Brenda or Paul or Chris or, you know, any of us. You put what you think or feel a lot into a video that you really, it's one of those that you go like, wow, I think this is really great. It's going to be really good. I'm going to post it. And you put it out there and it basically becomes a flop. And you go like, wow, I put a lot into that and it didn't go anywhere. It didn't produce as much as I thought it was going to do. So therefore, it kind of like set you back. Trust me, been there, done that.
But I'm not trying to, like, I'm just saying what it is. But I understand that, you know, there's other, like, there's more value to this, such as, you know, you're sharing with other people and relationships, you know, because I've met a lot of great people throughout the history of like the YouTube woodworking connection and such. But the thing about making such an effort in a video, it's not like these videos that you see where a guy, and you guys know this, it's not like these videos you see where the guy's sitting eating potato chips playing video games and he's got like 100,000 views. With woodworking, you're like, you're purchasing the wood and materials, you're getting the project put together, you're cutting the stuff, you're filming while you're doing all these, and then you're editing that. I mean, people that do woodworking videos, it's not just like, you know, whatever. It's an actual complex discipline. And so when I did, you know, all these, and I saw the views going down, I'm like, let's step back and reanalyze this. And it's been a little while. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little while, but there's more value to it than that, because you're also cataloging the things that you do. As an example, you get, you know, a history of like a diary, and like I said, the connections with people and stuff, and so there's more to it than that. But I feel kind of guilty that I've not produced a video now that I'm on a woodworking show.
No, that's fine, my friend. That's fine. I mean, and I understand. Trust me. I was here's the thing. I think that even everyone that's sitting here tonight, and a lot of those out there listening have went through the same thing, that you have these aspirations, you have these hopes, and you get out there and you buy this equipment and you're making these videos and you're doing your damnedest to put out there what you think is really great and everything. And then, and I understand that our videos, mine included, are maybe not up to the characteristics that, you know, fine woodworking should be. But then you get kind of like that let down feeling as to, wow, really? That's it? That's all you got?
Yeah. I was putting out a lot of, I'm sorry, Russ, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I was putting out like almost on a consistent basis for years, more than 2 videos a week. I mean, I have like a catalog of like 500 videos of all sorts of different, from repairs. It runs the gamut. And I'm not trying to say, you know, it's like, oh, the most magnificent, you know, but I've got a lot of back catalog of stuff. A lot of them I've disabled and stuff because I look back and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's cringy as heck. But like, you know, there is this body of work, let's say, there. Boy, I don't know why I was telling you that, for what reason.
Can I say something? It's not your work, Eloy. It's YouTube. I did a video splitting a pallet apart. I got 9.5 thousand views on it, of course, over the last 6 years. But it's YouTube. The stuff has changed to the point where they're not showing us little guys anymore. It's like, I don't know. The algorithm is kicked in. Just ask Matt.
Yeah, well, it truly is. YouTube has taken on the platform of almost like And part of the ways they're not 100% gaming, but they've taken on the platform where they're actually boosting the gaming part of that. But when you take a little kid or a child, and I have grandchildren, I have 7 children, so do not go in that direction that I don't like children. But when you take a little child and all you're doing is taking videos of him getting toys and opening them up and putting them together and running around his house and playing with them and screaming and hollering and everything, the one kid, and I'm not going to mention any names, actually started out doing this with his mother and father. He ended up getting a contract for a major company, which is on a major channel for kids doing this kind of stuff. And he's making big bucks doing that. And you look at that and go like, really? I mean, really? I understand the kid's cute. I understand everything he's doing. But it kind of like sucks in all these other kids and they get all involved. And the next thing you know, they're watching. And I'm like, you know what? Bless your heart. You found it's YouTube to me, in my understanding, is a niche. You find that right little niche. You find that right little product. You find that right little build. You find that right little macrame that you're making. You find that little crochet product that you're doing. You find that little niche, and all of a sudden, people flock to it, and it becomes popular.
Yeah.
The thing I had forgotten to. So I don't want to sound like all or nothing. How would it be? All in for YouTube, and if not, well, screw it all. That's not really what I'm like trying to say. I started the woodworking because I just needed to repair things at home. When my old man passed away, I took over, the homestead, and I had to upgrade a lot in order to, have it be rentable and all that. And so I had to do what I had to do. And then I ran across some YouTube videos and got inspired and said, you know what? It's almost like it's like art, And so I said, well, I'm just like working in the bathroom here, like pulling it. But no, it's art, man. And so I started doing, videos just for the heck of it. And then people came to me and said, hey man, would you like to do a collab? Or hey man, and then one dude, hey man, there's a Facebook group. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I wasn't too keen on, like opening up to the world and this and that. But people were so cool that I went and so the value with this whole world, I think, is so forgetting for half a second that I said is the human experience of people and the things you learn. Yeah, I would not have met so many cool people and learned so much and different ways of thinking. And so there's value in that too. So I don't want to come out like, oh, well, I didn't do as much as I wish I could have. So screw it all. No, I don't want to sound like that. I'm just saying that's why I stopped doing the video in particular recently or quite a while ago.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
Awesome Wood Things hit it right, Ryan. Hit it right on the nail head. It's called Ryan's World. This is a kid that started, his mother and father started videoing him and around the house and opening presents and playing with toys and stuff. He's actually picked up by Nickelodeon on the channel. He is a big hit on Nickelodeon. And Awesome Wood Things, which is Matt Haas, posted, he has 29.9 million subs. Yeah. 29.9
probably making $5 million a year just on YouTube.
Forget this video. It ain't happening now.
Chris, I'm going to put this away. Forget it.
I'm done.
This is opened up, and Eloy, in all sincerity, I totally understand where you're going, and I really am enjoying the fact that I'm glad you came tonight, because it brings a highlight into a lot of people that are out there that are watching, that get this little fantasy world. And I did it too. I kind of also fell into it. I was a little bit smarter years ago to go like, yeah, this ain't going to be, I ain't the one that's going to be the number one woodworker in the world, so to speak. But it gets you out of this little fantasy world, and you need to wake up real quick. You need to be in this for only a couple of reasons. And it's not going to be for the money. It's not going to be for the notoriety. It's going to be that you're going to do this because you're having fun, which I always have, and you're meeting new people and making new friends. That's the only reason this show has survived 7 years. It ain't for the people as far as the amount of subscribers. It ain't for the likes. It ain't for anything else other than the fact that I'm meeting people. I wouldn't have met Brenda, Paul, Chris, Jim, Dixon, Al, even you. We started off the same way onto this thing if it hadn't have been for this wonderful thing called YouTube. And I wouldn't give it up for a second. But when you think about if you're going to grow and become one of those, that's pipe dreams. You need to come back to reality.
Yeah. It's good to have also that little, what you call like that little illusion angle to it, where, well, maybe, you know, that little, maybe that's kind of good, but you shouldn't, like you said, hang your hat on that, because that's really not where the unless you're Bobby Duke, then stuff is, you know.
Yeah.
But YouTube, if you guys remember, you know, YouTube originally wasn't owned by the people that own it now. And originally, there was a lot of little things. So I don't mean to, but there was a lot of little things, such as if you had, like, let's say, you know, Paul has a video out and I go and see his video and I'm like, oh, well, wait a second. I have a reply to Paul's, you know, video. You could literally record your video and you could attach it on the bottom bar below the screen back then as a reply, and other people would come in and say, oh, well, I'm going to see what replies there are to Paul's, you know, and then they check out the do you guys remember that at all?
Yep.
Those were cool little features that allowed for communication and community. And back then I was kind of 2006. I was doing music, and there was a whole music community, and people were like writing songs and posting it on other people's, you know, videos. And it was, so a lot of these features it's become convoluted now. There's no features such as that. So people have had to resort to doing other things, but people want community, it appears to me, you know, regardless, but they've made it a little bit harder, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I agree. I remember when you were doing some of your music and stuff. I've listened to some of your music and some of your music videos, and I thought they were damn good. But but
they still are.
You're right. They didn't go away. They're still there. There still are. But So, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yep.
You're on a fine line, and like I said, you have to make a decision. And I appreciate what a couple of people said. Something like, Aussie Man said, well said, Russ, you have to enjoy it or it's not worth doing. And and I have done this for 7 years, and I have to tell you, it still hasn't gotten old to me. I still enjoy this show. I still enjoy seeing people. It has grown. It's not as grown as big as I would have loved it to, but it has still grown, and I'm still having fun. The day when it not has any more fun, which I think you made that reality for yourself on your own YouTube channel, you just kind of like come to this thing like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And I may have to face that in the next year or two or so, or whenever it is. But yeah, I understand.
But it's adapted too, though, Russ, because what I mean by that is that although I'm not doing that in particular in relation to let's say I'm planning a woodworking project and I'm going to record it and share it, and it's not like I'm not going to do it. It's been that it's a little season within, life. But I have done like a show with Mark Lindsay, and it's called Trampled Underfoot Podcast. And we do have exchanges there and talk about things, and it's a pod and it's activity, and you're online and you're sharing and stuff. And that's been fun, doing that show, because we talk about, life, the universe, and everything on there. And so that's been fun. So I've been active there doing that.
Yeah. To explain a little bit more about that with you and Mark, and actually tell us where we can find that podcast. So go into that a little bit, because Mark Lindsay is a fantastic guy. I have learned when I was doing more CNC, I learned so much from watching his videos. But go into that podcast and what y'all are doing over there a little bit more.
So Mark Lindsay does CNC. He does tutorials, and a lot of people go to him for a solution as far as issues with projects and how the CNC works. So they go over to his channel, Mark Lindsay CNC, on YouTube. I met him through I believe the case was through Facebook and through some of the groups, and we got to talking, and we enjoyed music as a common thing, and more in particular what you'd call retro music now from the 70s on back. We dig that, but I'm from a different generation than he is. Removed, I'm not going to say how many years, but maybe about 10 years or so. He lives on the West Coast and I live on the East Coast. And so we say, hey man, let's do a show and talk about life, the universe, and everything. And I'm like, well, we could give it a try. He's like, yeah, let's give it a try. And we just dug all that. We talk about history, and we talk about little strange facts, weird facts about the history of whatever, America, Egypt, whatever the case. And then pop culture, things that we've grown up to appreciate, like the silliest little toy growing up as a kid that was on the shelves that everybody needed, or candy, or just all sorts of stuff. And we call it Trampled Underfoot Podcast because we like Led Zeppelin. And we thought that appropriate. And what we do is we do a show every Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. And our YouTube channel is Trampled Underfoot Podcast on YouTube. Got the same thing going on Facebook. And no, we enjoy it. We do that every week.
Yeah, I really like Mark, and I used to talk to him a lot more and everything. I kind of got out of the CNC for certain circumstances, which we will not divulge as of now. But yeah, I kind of just wandered away from the CNC thing. Actually, I'll tell you why it was, because the damn CNC gave me so much trouble. It was a piece of crap. But anyway, so but yeah, but Mark definitely he's doing very well for himself. Mark definitely is a nice guy, and I really enjoy being or talking to him the times that I have and being around him. Are you planning on here in the near future doing going back into doing maybe some YouTube videos and posting them, or have you thought about that?
I've gotten into. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say that that show is sponsored by Harneal Media.
Yes,
HarnealMedia.com. And
Steve Nealon, I believe it is.
He's a really nice guy. We're very good friends. He doesn't post videos necessarily, but he works in the background with a lot of woodworking and maker people to create websites for them. So, I just wanted to put that out there. It's Harneal Media.
That's fine. I like Steve Nealon. He's a friend of mine. So go for it. Give him a plug. That's great.
He's a really good. He a lot of people do this, and it's an incredible thing. Just selflessness of people, helping other people out. So that's another good thing about the whole woodwork. Regardless of how many videos people put out, there is a common connection glue, which is the woodworking or creativity. that we all share to one degree, and different levels of skill, let's say. But there are good. There's good vibes. You know, within the community. Although it's been rocky, right? it's been.
There's been a few bumps.
Oh yeah, there's been a few bumps.
But your question. I'm sorry. What you had? What was your question? If I'm gonna come back to doing videos,
have you thought about trying to come back and spur? I mean, okay, so obviously you're still doing some woodworking because you're helping people with, like, the lady brings you a chair and say it broke and you're fixing that for her and everything. So obviously you're still kind of into that kind of thing. But have you really given thought to, or maybe tonight after us talking about it, given thought to go back in? Maybe not so full lust and bluster that I'm going to make $1 million off of YouTube, but to the point that, hey, you know what? That might be fun to make a couple of videos and put them back up there on my YouTube channel. Have you gotten to that point yet?
Yeah, after tonight, I'm going to go ahead and double down on not doing it now. I'm joking. I have given it thought, Russ. You know, it's a funny thing. Do you know Patrick's workshop?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Patrick and I are very good friends. Good guy. I love him to death.
It's kind of a running joke, but he had not been publishing videos for a little while. And I said,
he's in the same boat you were in. So,
well, I said, when you
both rowing the hell away in an empty ocean.
That's it, dude. So, you know, the running thing is that when you post one, I'll go ahead and post one. And so while I'm not ready to post one yet, and it keeps going and going and going. But yeah, I have thought of it, but I'm thinking in terms of, as opposed to large projects, something more manageable, and perhaps a theme, one discipline in one area. I really like carving. You know, a small thing, a little puppy dog or a turtle, or just out of wood. And I think that I might, as opposed to starting this huge wall armoire sort of thing, which is like, I'd probably film something like that. That's, you know, you can contain and not create such a mess. And I think that would probably be my first my return if I chose to do so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, but that table you made was pretty decent size, though.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I've
never
ever talked to those people.
My gator, so y'all kind of like chime in here.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, but you know that table you made was pretty big, though. Do you ever talk to those people you sold the or did the table for?
So I made some tables and some different things. I used to go to the answer is no, I haven't talked to them, but I used to do some stuff for the flea market down here in Miami. And people really dug. I was surprised. You'd pick up, I hate to say it like this, but you'd pick up like just scrap wood, and you'd sort of put it together. Not that table. That table was like really some serious.
Oh yeah, that was all constructed. Yeah, good stuff.
But like you'd also do like you put together like, you know, just dimensional lumber that you get at the bottom rack at the home, and you take it to the flea, and people were like, because it was all the rustic craze. Yeah. And you'd burn it, and you'd put like it just
beat it up with like chains.
Yeah, and people would dig it and they'd buy it. You know, I was like, oh well, heck, what's going on here? You know, and I've not done that for a while. But yeah, I haven't talked to those people since then.
Do you have to do everything outside, or do you have like do you have a garage, or were you using a room in the house to put everything in? Because that's got to be a pain in the summer in Florida to go outside and work.
It is, man. That's one of the reasons that. But I did bring it in. I did a crazy thing, and I brought in a whole slew of different tools into my living room, which is kind of there should be a law against it. There probably is, because what happens is that now you have it in your living room. And I said I want to do small stuff, so I brought the and the scroll saw, and then I got the sanders, and then all of a sudden I've got my living room is no longer that would be insanity, dude. Yeah, but
hey, I've got a question. Your site is called N Woodworks, right?
Yeah.
Did I get it correct?
Yeah.
And lately you've been working on rocking horses or rocking chairs. Any correlation between the two? I mean, because it kind of hit me. They saw it. It's like, mira, papi, tiene un website que se llama Rocking. Vamos a llevarle el rocking chair para que nos arregle el rocking chair. No.
You know that's a really good thing, you know, because it works. It works. Rocking Woodworks.
Yeah.
I mean, my intention was more like rock and roll, but
rock and roll. Yeah.
Okay. It started out as rock and roll, and that's rock your ass to sleep.
Hey, and there's some good rock and roll there, man. This guy has done tunes for a bunch of different things.
Music. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me take one step back, one moment, please, because I have neglected to do this, and I usually do it earlier in the show. But once, you know, some people, when we get with some people like Eloy, we become so enthused in talking to him and some of the things he has to say, because I enjoy talking to Eloy. That I forget to do this, but I'm going to run back through the chat real quick and just say hi to some of the people that are listening to us. Aussie Man obviously is from Australia. Yes. Michelle Marcoux, Harnell Media is actually out there. Steve Neal,
Steve's out there.
Yeah. Yep, Steve's out there. Leonard Davis, he's out there. And forgive me if I miss your name. It's not intentional. I'm just trying to scam through and see who's all out there. James Parkey. James Parkey's out there. James Parker's out there. Jim Dockrell. Oh, hold everything.
Oh my God, should I ban him?
Watching what he posts, because we might have to ban him.
Yeah.
Frenzy Wicked Truth is out there.
Frenzy.
Yep. Let me just run back
Steve
through.
Carmichael was out there. Steve Carmichael was out there for a while.
Yeah, Awesome Wood Things, which is Matt Haas has been out there. Aussie Man, Leonard Davis, Sandy Lumbermill DIY. Thank you, Sandy, for being on here tonight. I appreciate that. I don't recognize your name. You may have been here before. I wish that Jim Bashirs would quit posting. Ken Corey, he's out there. Old Path.
Sorry.
Steve Carmichael is out there watching us. Thank you, Steve, for being here. I appreciate that. Somebody by the name of Brenda G's Designs. Where the heck she come from? She's been in there too. Steve Carmichael. Some old man by the name of Paul's Messy Workshop. Mr. Duboy. He's been out there.
Mr. Doughboy.
Oh boy.
Or Doughboy. Okay. Well, Duboy is what I'm calling. I do Duboy for my wife. So. Yeah. So anyway, but Jason Richloff, y'all help me with that. All right,
Richloff.
Sandy Lumbermill DIY has been out there also.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if y'all see somebody I missed, Jason Rich is off. He's a newcomer. I don't recognize him, but thank you for being here. I appreciate that. He's been posting quite a bit. So yeah, those are just some of the people that have been out there tonight, posting in the chat.
Did you get the Patrick also? He was out there.
Patrick Workshop. Yes, I did. I think I mentioned it earlier, but yes, Patrick's Workshop has been out there. Very great guy. Trying to think of his dog's name. Ice. I believe his dog's name is Ice. So Patrick, if you're still out there, I would like you to post over there, because I'm an animal lover. I really am. And I don't have any pets right now, per se, is because most of our pets have passed away. And after the last one, it broke my heart so bad, I said that I didn't want any more. So, but yeah, Patrick, how's Ice doing? And I know he had some problems with her, and the community came together and helped him with her. So, but yeah, Patrick.
Patrick's first question in the chat was, Eloy, what is it like being so cool? That was his question. That was his
Was
question.
Patrick's, the answer is it has to come naturally. You have to just you have to be cool. You can't just put that on yourself. You can't drape it on like some sort of plot. You can't do that, dude.
You gotta wait till someone says you are.
You have to wait till someone puts that little crown on your head, and then you can.
I guess he did, didn't he?
Then you own it. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, then you own it.
Hey, Eloy,
Go ahead, guys. If y'all got some more questions, I've talked the first half of the show. Y'all can help me out here on the second half.
hey, Eloy, a couple of years ago, you had a series on your website about your family history and you're coming into this country. I thought it was really interesting, and I texted you a couple of times, and we talked about how did that go over as a group of videos. Did people like that, or was that just?
It's an interesting thing, Paul, because I'm kind of nuts because you would think to keep the woodworking as woodworking, and I'm tossing in all this different content, which I have been doing, and it was a little bit of a concern. But at the end of the day, I went ahead and did it. And people, it's a funny thing. So I did this 8mm footage of, among other things, of my parents taking a trip from Miami to Colombia on their, I guess, maybe not wedding, but some sort of anniversary. And it's really old footage of them like going up in the mountains and just the whole sites and stuff back in the mid 70s. And it's funny how it works, but people from, let's say, Colombia, they see the title and they're like, holy smokes, look at this footage. It doesn't look like that no more. Oh my good. And so you get people roundabout finding your stuff. And then there's like the Cuban community from back in the 60s that left the country due to political changes over there, let's say. They'll run across certain, family history topics and they relate to it and the struggles and this and that. And so, yeah, it's not been received badly. It's been received good, but it has its limited interest, people that are going to search for said, keywords and content. But I do it as a diary because I have all this stuff and we don't live forever. And I feel that I owe the responsibility, and I get comfort from it too, because I miss my family, right? I lost my mother, my father, completely. Just it changed everything, in my head years ago, and I've not gotten over it. Period. It's just I don't get it. So doing that is cathartic, and people do, see the value in that and all that. So I appreciate you asking about that.
Well,
One thing I like.
It's it was a good bunch of videos and a good bunch of history.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
I have to go. Paul mentioned that earlier, and I said no, I haven't watched those. I will actually, and I promise you, go back because I like stuff like that. I watch the History Channel all the time. I'll go back. I want to watch those videos and see what you have to say. But I would like to say this because I have two people on here that have Cuban heritage. Is one thing that I've noticed, particularly throughout the years, and I have two friends at the fire department when I worked for the fire department for 30 years that were Cuban backgrounds. I can't remember the other guy's name because he wasn't as good a closest friend. My closest friend was Marcelino Ramos. Marcelino Ramos and his family directly come from Cuba. And matter of fact, his mother and father were still a Cuban, but he was in America. But anyway, one thing that I've noticed about the Cuban heritage is with this, and I don't mean any disrespect with this or anything else, but
here it comes.
Yeah. He's saying this wholeheartedly.
With the regime of Fidel Castro, the Cuban people have actually been so resilient in all these years and being able to do what they do and still they're still live and they're still vibrant in their culture and everything, even though they have all these years put underneath that suppression. And that somehow just always amazed me, really.
It's a very odd thing. It's a very odd thing. So I was born here. I'm not going to say the actual date, but let's just say it was in the middle of the 70s, thereabouts, right? and just shy, maybe a good 8 to 10 years prior to that, my parents at the age of 18 and like 15 had to leave, right? And they met here and they got married and then they had me, but where I'm going is that it's a very weird thing in that they had experienced leaving their country and losing the things they had, and then me growing up with that history of theirs, and I didn't receive from them that I can perceive any sort of you would think that stuff hovers on people, but they were very loving but you would think that they'd have and they probably did a terrible trauma, but I don't know if I'm making my point across, but in that stretch, which was a short stretch of time, I'm quite the balanced person, as you can see.
Apparently, they're the things that like you said, it had to play on their mind what happened to them. But apparently, once they got to America, so to speak, they kind of like put it behind them and continued forward. And that's what I'm talking about. The resilience of the Cuban people underneath that regime. And I know we don't want to get political or in here, and I'm not trying to, but the Cuban people have been suppressed for so many years. They were saying like when Fidel was dying or whatever, his brother's going to take over. And I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, his brother's just as bad as he is. Well, that ain't going to help the damn Cuban people any, So, but that's what I'm talking about. It's just, I think the Cuban people themselves are very, very resilient. Very, very. That's the only way I can put it. They've come a long ways and keep on going. They just keep on going, by George.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, we're even in outer space in Star Trek in the year 20.
Yeah. So live long and prosper.
Indeed.
So yeah, but it's really good. We're gonna have to cut out of here. It's getting a little around 9 o'clock or so. But so you're the type of person, Eloy, I'd like to have you back on, regardless.
Yeah.
So,
Regardless of how this turned out.
I think this turned out actually very fantastic, my friend. Very fantastic.
What about workshop confessions?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll go into that in just one second. But no, I think this turned out very well. And in all sincerity, this is what he told me whenever Jim set up the meeting. And I thank you very much, Jim Bashirs. I appreciate that very much. And I contacted Eloy myself and asked him if he wanted to put on. And he says, well, I hadn't done any like woodworking videos in a couple of years. And I said, he goes, do you really? I really don't have anything woodworking to contribute. And I said, no, you had some, and I'm sorry. That's why we got to bring you back on. You've got to come back on, and instead of talking about this, we'll go back into your videos and show some of them and show some of your woodworking and let you talk about your woodworking. Is that okay? Right.
Yeah.
This is an interview show, though.
Yeah, the interview, and then we go into your back when you did your woodworking, and we'll show some of your projects and stuff that you were doing before in the videos that you made. I'd love to do that. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to I don't know when, I just wanted to add that I do appreciate. Thank you guys for sharing this moment with me and having me on. All of you for taking the time and bothering and doing it. And so I do appreciate you guys on here and everyone out there. So just, good vibes to you guys and all the best.
All right,
well, thank you for a lovely audition.
Yeah, we'll have you back on. We'll have you back on, let's say in 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll actually go into your old YouTube videos and bring out the archives and talk about your woodworking. You can tell us about some of the things you made and how you made them. So we'll definitely do that in a few weeks in the future. And so that being said, but yeah, enjoy. Yes.
One quick question. You know,
Yes.
we're talking about Eloy's name, okay? Eloy Escagedo. So why, Eloy, did you put
Hold on. Eloy Escagedo. Is that better?
Eloy Escagedo?
Eloy Escagedo.
Esca.
Escagedo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, why did you put Escagedo? I don't know. I can't even pronounce that. How come you put the X in there? Escagedo.
The original spelling would have been with a G or a J, but back in the day, in the 15 to 1600s, they would write in certain areas with certain letters an X replacing the J or the G, because phonetically the X represented that letter, and so I added it just to fart around.
Awesome.
Just really that's really, but yeah, they used to. So the X would represent the G or J sound that would create the full surname.
Fantastic.
It was really because they didn't have a G or a J yet in the alphabet.
Yeah.
So they just tossed the X in there.
Something
as
goes
a general
here.
purpose placeholder.
And it has nothing to do with Shelley Cole's escargot pizza, right?
No.
You don't even remember that, or do you remember that?
Hey,
I don't remember.
Okay.
Dude, you put me on the spot. I feel like
sorry, I didn't mean to. Misinformation. Did Shelley Cole did one episode or one video talking about people's names. She did my name. She did Shane Cole. She did yours. I can't remember who else, but I remember that.
Yes, I remember that now. I do.
Sorry,
remember that.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No. And it's been a long. See what's cool about that. You are picking up on. You have some. It's in my memory bank, but I had to go down the hall, turn to left, to right, open that file cabinet to get there.
Dude, I've showed it in class to my students. I mean, I'm wild and crazy, but anyway.
That is off. She did a great job. I do remember now. Yeah, I just had to, do a little walking to get there.
My wife's a full-blood Puerto Rican. Her mother and father were born and raised in Puerto Rico and came over here. And let me tell you, she's the most beautiful, kindest, wonderful person in the world. I couldn't have we've been married now for 16, 17 years. We got married 2004, so I can't add it up. So I've never had such a wonderful companion in my entire life. But my point is the first time that I saw some of the Puerto Rican names, which was Jesus, I went like, okay, this is a little ridiculous. You're naming your kid Jesus.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she goes, for real? You know how Nancy does. Y'all met her on the show.
Yeah.
She went, for real? I said,
No, but you're right about that. It is a weird thing in the context of English because it's done, dude. But in the context of Spanish, the association, I guess the association is there too. Boy, I don't know why the heck they would, but yeah, they do it, but it doesn't sound as shocking. It just okay.
No, because then she says it's not Jesus, it's Jesus.
It's Jesus. Yeah.
Or y'all can say it better than I did, and I went like, what the? It's what? Jesus, and I went like, oh, okay, and and it just blew me away because of that, and it's like it's funny as crap, It's to me, I thought it was hysterical because I look at it Jesus and Jesus, and now I'm going like, okay, well,
It is slightly sacrilegious if you think about it in a roundabout way. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm not trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if you think about it, minus the Spanish, and just are confront, they named you Jesus. How bold do you have to be?
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what. But she didn't understand that I wasn't smart enough to figure that that Puerto Rican dialect out, or a Hispanic dialect. But but I just thought that was funny. All right. So yeah, we're rocking on here around 9-ish, 9/11 actually. So
let's wait one more minute to leave the 9/11 and make it 9/12.
9/12.
Okay, that'll be good. But yeah, I appreciate you being on, Eloy, and
thank you. Definitely,
I want to bring you back in probably 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, when it's a good time for you. But I would rather the next show be on. Let's go back, even if you don't go back on any more videos, go back to your YouTube channel, and we'll actually bring up some of your videos and show them on the show, and you can talk about. Actually, you choose the ones you want us to see, and I'll bring them up, and you can talk about them and say, "Yeah, I made this this way because of this, or I chose maple because of this, or what." You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we could do that. Not a problem. I got you.
Yeah, that would be great, because I really want to show people, and they can go and see it themselves, because I know Brenda and I think Al and a few of them have posted your link to your YouTube channel in the chat, so people can see it and actually go over there and follow it. So
it's all been Brenda tonight. I have to say, I've been slacking.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you,
Brenda.
Hey, there's the reason I keep her around. She keeps me straight.
Ooh.
She keeps me
just reach over and go whack, right? Come on, Brenda.
If I were to get rid of Brenda, I think I might get a divorce, because my wife loves her. I know that they've never physically met. They've talked a few times, like when I had Nancy on the show and everything. She watches your videos and stuff, but yeah, it's like, she's always saying like, "Did Brenda post this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So yeah. So
well, Nancy and I have never talked one-on-one because she won't allow it.
Well, I understand that. And she's that night that I got her onto the show, that she actually was here with me, and everybody got to talk to her and see her. She's a very, very introvert, a very, very not so much shy, but very, very introvert type of person. That was
I'll put a stop to that.
Yeah.
Really now?
I had asked her to be on my show at that point for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And she, nope, don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. Over the years, she has, after 7 years, she realizes this is not going away. He's doing it. She has she's become a little bit more understanding and into it. And so therefore, that one night I said, everybody says they want to meet you. Everybody says they want to talk about you or talk to you. And
we talk about her all the time.
We'd love to have her on. And she goes, yeah, go ahead. I'll do it. And I went like, you could have threw a brick, hit me in the head. I mean, like, really. And so, yeah, that was a very good time. And I think she goes, isn't Jim Bashir's the guy that was keeping track of, what was it?
Who knows?
Time you mispronounce names?
No, it wasn't mispronounced name. How many times she gave me the evil eye or looked at me or something?
Oh,
like that.
yeah. Stink eye.
Yeah. He was keeping track of it. And she goes, yeah, isn't Jim the one that gave you or was keeping track of that thing? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So, yeah. But yeah,
Amy's the same way. I have to twist her arm to get her in here.
Yeah. If you ever want to see that machine operating, we're going to have those two hook up so she can talk Glenna into it.
All right. So I'll tell Nancy to get Glenna on the show operating the machine. Nancy has to be sitting beside me.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
We'll get it going then. So but thank you, Eloy. I appreciate it. What'd you have was
That's was
pronounced?
fun.
What's the Hispanic pronunciation? Go ahead.
So the full name is Eloy. Well, wait a second. The correct original name without any, would be Eloy Escagedo.
Eloy Escagedo.
Dude, that's like, it's like perfect.
Eloy Escagedo. So
Right.
thank you, Eloy Escagedo, for being on the show tonight. I appreciate it very much.
Workshop
And,
confession.
Yes.
Yeah, workshop. All right. Yeah, Paul's not going to let me forget it. All
Right.
right.
He's not.
So in your when you're working in the wood shop and you're doing some things, you had to have this point when you did something, and blood's better. We want blood, or dismemberment or anything like that. But when you were doing something, and I always give this analogy: I was boring a hole through a 1/4-inch piece of plywood, holding it with a bit that was like 3 inches long. Yes, you can get that. It actually went through the plywood into my finger.
Wasn't it a nail gun last time? Sorry, I must have not remembered.
It might have been. Maybe I'm confused.
Al,
No,
Eloy
that's
might
the
not
other
have a
show
nail
you-
gun.
Now, let's see the show you know.
Actually, it was a nail gun. When you think about it. Yeah,
I have a Brad nail gun. But if you're saying nail
Awesome.
gun, like full-fledged, like
Well, anyway, what we want you to do, what did you do in your shop that after you did it is like, what the hell was I thinking?
yeah.
All right, tell us about that experience.
Oh, what now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is shop confession.
Your confession.
You.
We're gonna bless you so that you won't have any more confessions.
Okay, I'm gonna share it, and it's horrible. This is horrible. Are you
We
sure
like
you want me
horrible.
to say this?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yes.
go ahead.
Just don't
Just-
say the bad words.
Don't drop any F-bombs, please.
Okay, so I was working with the what you call this darn tool, bandsaw, and I was bandsawing a piece of wood, and I had ran it through on the opposite side once you pass through the blade, and the pieces were sitting there, and I pulled my hand back, but instantaneously went to grab the piece that I had left on the opposite past the blade, and ran my finger
No bueno.
on the side, and it was painless at the moment. It went zzz,
Yes.
and I heard a zzz, and when I come back, I'm like, ooh, I feel a little tingly tingle in my finger, and I look, and a chunk about this much come off.
Oh
Now,
my god.
You may think it's not a lot. Well,
No,
you may
no,
probably,
we do think it's a lot.
I dug it out of the what you call the
The throat plate.
no, well, it went down into the receptacle. I even forget. I pulled
The pit of waste fingers.
yeah,
The chip bucket.
The skip bucket.
I pulled the piece out, washed it, and just capped it back on the thing. And I said, "Yeah, that'll mend together." Oh, then I had to go and get stitches on it. And what ended up happening was that it healed. It's a funny thing. They reattached it and it healed, but a lot of it, basically, the finger has like a little sort of. It's like the meat isn't round in that part, but and I don't feel anything on that tip.
Yep.
Wow.
It's like numb. And so my lesson there was, which I knew about because I had many run-ins, but that was severe. When you are separated from a part of you, that brings it home. And so, I learned my lesson there. And I got to say, dude, I think 4 or 5 times before I do a cut and this and that. And I just do because
Well, you
tell
also
Eloy, that's one of the best ones we've heard.
That's a good
Yes.
one.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
You-
I
and
agree.
you also found out that it would double as a meat slicer.
oh my
You should,
goodness,
you should be proud. You should be proud of that moment.
oh my goodness, dude, it was so horrible.
Okay. So
Awesome.
Eloy, bless you, my son, that you no longer have any meat slicing episodes.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, bless you. So that was a good one. That was a
Yes,
good one.
that was
And
excellent.
it was a pen nailer. You're right, Al. I remember the story now. I just
Oh,
messed
yeah.
it up. But only Al's the only one in this program would say any damn thing because everybody else just kept in their mouth shut. Yeah, okay. Right. Al
That's
just-
what you got me here for, sir.
yeah, it was a
You,
pen
you
nailer.
want
It
us to? You want us to
Trying-
tell you?
actually was I think I was pushing trying to nail a couple of pieces of wood together that were like half an inch, and I was using like a 1-inch nail or whatever, and it went into my finger or something.
Oh,
You want us
That's
to
the way I
tell you?
remember it.
You want us to tell
What?
you who told the story about drilling through the wood into their hand?
Oh,
Yeah.
I know who did that.
Yeah.
Mike Fulton.
Yeah.
Mike Fulton.
oh
And
wow.
My wife's
And that
going to
was
be killing
and
me
that
because I promised I wouldn't run the show wouldn't run over, and we're already 22 minutes. So she's like,
wasn't that the F-bomb?
Yep,
too?
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Fulton, love him to death. He's a bro. He's a really good, great guy. I met him personally in the Atlanta Working Show 2 or 3 times. I invited him on the show, and I said, Mike, love you, bro, but you got kind of a mouth. If you would tone it down, because I even have my grandson watch this show sometimes. So you drop the F-bomb quite a bit. So could you kind of like tone it down? And so we go through the whole show. It's fantastic. Mike is doing the most great job, and I'm super proud of him. And we get to the wood shop confessions, and he goes, yeah, I had one of those. I picked up this piece of wood and needed to bore a hole in it, and I was holding it in my hand. I had the drill, and it was a brand new bit. It went right through the wood, right into my beeping hand.
Oops.
Mike the F-bomb Fulton.
Yep.
Hey, Russ, before you go, Hobby wants to know if you want to come on his show tonight.
I cannot. I have an engagement after this. So yeah, I would love to. I really would. But unfortunately, I already have something planned. And so
Then it would be 3 old guys reminiscing about the 70s and 80s.
well, I tell you what, we're supposed to have some company. I don't know if they're even here because my wife hasn't texted me or whatever. But I'll go in and talk to her, and we'll let you guys. I'll ask her and see if they're coming or whatever. If not, then yeah, I can do it. But I did promise her we're supposed to have some her relatives over. So
He
And
said
that's
you have an open invite.
that's supposed to be 20 minutes ago, 24 minutes to be exact, that I was supposed to be in the house. So
Oh,
she already knows I can't be on time. She already knows.
And she
Did the
knows who
street
you
lights
are.
go out? Did the
Yep.
street lights go out by you yet?
Yeah, she already knows.
That's when we had to be in.
We end up saying we're going to quit at 9 o'clock. I think there's been in 7 years once that we've ever got off the air on time. So yeah. It's not going to happen. So thank you, Hobby. You got it, an open invite. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, thank you for all being out there. I appreciate it so very, very much. Y'all all being out there in the chat. We've had as high as 30 something people watching on YouTube. I don't think we have anybody on Twitch, but I know we've had a few over there on Facebook who have been in the chat. So I appreciate that very much.
Lady Frenzy Wicked Truth has been over there.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Lady Frenzy Wicked Truth, for being over there on Twitch. And we do monitor Twitch. That's the great thing I like about Restream, is because all 3 platforms, your chat will come up here. So, yes, I will see it up here. I have this screen. If you keep seeing me look up every once in a while, it's because I'm reading the chat that's above. I have a monitor above me. But all three platforms, if you were to type something in Facebook right now, I would see it. In Twitch, I would see it right up on that monitor. I really like Restream. It's a really good product. Really good product for the internet. But yeah, let's get out of here. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Dixon. Thank you, Al. I appreciate every one of you being on here. And thank you so very much for being. I'm trying to think how to say it now.
Just say Eloy, dude.
I have to go back to what I know, Eloy.
Simply Eloy.
Yeah,
thank you guys.
Eloy. So, Eloy, thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate it. We've had a great time. I really like you being on here. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're getting out of here. Just remember, if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, by God, you're just too darn busy. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate it. God bless you. Oh, and happy Easter. Tomorrow, forget about the damn bunny. It's the day that Jesus Christ rose out of the grave and became our Savior. That's the reason for the season, so to speak. But thank you so very much. Happy Easter. I appreciate you watching. And there's only one thing that we need to do next, and that is, Chris.
Remember, folks, you don't have to go home, but you can stay here. Finish your drinks.
Hi, everybody.
That way.
Good night,
Doors
everyone.
that way.
Live long and prosper.
Actually, doors that way.
Yep. Good night.